actually, I think Heretics, you know, stylistically are able to prevent them from doing it much as the same FPX did. Again, look for Nuki to find value on those lurks on the rounds that he's doing it, but I mean, Heretics, once they stack up, they look so good on retakes. I think they're really going to challenge this game plan from Acend.
Let's see how it looks. This is something to keep our minds towards, and I'm gonna lean on you to keep a track of how often they get away with the same sort of play that we've seen work against tier 1 teams. It was FPX, as you said, who found that answer. They found a really good kind of like, you know, read into how this sort of, you know, idea can work. However, let's have a little look towards how the round's playing out. Acend already going to take towards hookah control, and information gets a big old deny.
That wall going up is going to slow things down. It's going to give Avova some time to rotate over here, so they are going to commit 3 players initially, but Pora making his way also. He's going to leave his utility, and Nuki's going to play off the back of it.
Spamming in. Our players there, they've now made contact. They see the smoke. This could be a read. There is no flank yet either. This is going to be the players who are here. Now let's look at Heretics. Not overly involved just yet. The smokes are still into place. The spike has made it towards the site, and there we go. Plant going to come in. Once again, a 5v5 post plant.
I was going to say, you can see it. They're literally pinging where they know they're going to try and get this plant down. Now, Acend not pulling all the way back just yet, but the molly's available. 2 snake bites also, so Heretics have to make moves right now.
And they're trying to. Rubino's found the first bit of CNED to find them right back. Already Lauvo does find CNED, so that's the danger man gone. The man with the golden touch has been removed, but it's now just Nuki left. And you can see the diligence now from Acend. This is business for them.
Well, the big thing here actually is Acend, if they decide to kind of lean on that factor, right? If they anticipate that Heretics are going to play very aggressively in the retake, maybe, you know, like I said, challenge pre-plant. That could be something that Acend could lean on. I mean, leaving CNED, a player like CNED on site, right, to just kind of brawl, playing that chaos factor. You can see here the molly coming in from distance. That would be the best possible adjustment for Acend. It is to read into the fact that they feel as if they're going to get counter-stratted.
And we are seeing an active 6th man in and out of this roster, which is something that honestly we don't see in many other esports, so it's quite an enjoyable element and something we can definitely talk about, as we do see a pretty robust buy up against a Sheriff and Classics. So again, Rubino now switching in, gonna have to try and, you know, pick up the marker that was set pretty high, but this is still, you know, the BO5 sort of territory, so it's a longer series and pretty good probably, so they can almost keep that, you know, focused in the right place. Good site take so far, keeping it clean. Nothing too wild about this. Rubino's gone, and Acend just kind of take to the site comfortably.
Yes, utility invested as well. You can see Avova to try and, again, this is the sort of thing to look for on the buy rounds, but Starzo here is the safety net to deal with that. Come around, Acend to happy, sit down on site, and hold on to this. I think, yeah, Nuki are now just looking for anything in the form of exits. Do some damage to the economy. This one almost definitely going in favor of Acend here, and potentially flawless yet. Starzo will close out with the 3-piece. Gonna get the ball rolling in terms of the economy here. Now with these lesser weapons, we see another fast hit coming in. Actually, on the flip side of that, do we see Heretics adjust at all? Do we see them try and make a play here on their buy round?
Okay. Take account of what we're seeing weapon-wise. Of course, sticking on the 3 Spectres that they've been able to take through. So, Starkso, Bone Cold, Killers, all there. On the other side, the full purchase, but of course, no money beside it. It's been quite a clean start. Only 1 kill made so far, and that was Lau. Other than that, we are now live into this instantaneous fight and take towards Showers. That could be met by some force. I'm not sure how much they want to stick around. Nuki's going to post at least a paint shell towards it, but that's about all you're going to get from that. Now, there has been a response from the defensive side to take B long control as well. Voldementa keeping control of middle on the other side. Might catch a glimpse here. There are 2 players now. Voldementa faded away just as they progressed, so I wonder if the timing could be a problem. No. Gonna dip back around to long. Oh, he catches him with the knife out. That's a bit of an issue. And Avova gonna get punished for that. Now, there is a second player pushed up, but already information garnered. Now, that's a great first pick. Now, that will at least force back Heretics to sit a little bit more passive.
That's the sort of switch up I was talking about. It drifting down as 3. It's unfortunate they lose one in the process, but here actually going to deal with one of the trap wires. The Seekers gets invested as well, so they might just commit to this push. Actually, no, they're looking, they're following one of the Seekers back through market, anticipating this flank coming through. Got to be careful here, but all of Heretics is sent over to A, Lauren.
This has been wonderful. Off that entry pick, maybe just the complete value, and then pulling this is wonderful. Rubino just out in the open.
Beautiful.
Stunning work from Acend, controlling that CT play back through, not allowing anyone to try and get an easy step. With 20 seconds remaining, the spike is planted. Now Pora is there, but can he make it out? Yes, he can. This might be a save.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Back going to try and keep 3 weapons through, but this is a big win, really, for Acend to get this round on the board in particular. Again, like I said, the readjust from Heretics, they look to come through, try and challenge that. Again, the wall is thrown down very early on B to kind of, you know, make Heretics second guess whether or not that hit's coming through. But even though they're going to keep 3 alive, carry these weapons across, actually Acend already showing that they're able to pull away from that fast execute and draw out these rotations, find a pick elsewhere, and then again, following that 1 seeker through, as soon as 2 seekers go onto site, they know that they can literally read the setup perfectly. After seeing the flank, obviously Coldamenta gets the recon ping on the second player, which is Rubino down by Fountain, right? They're anticipating that one player is either lurking or he's the solo man on that site.
Great read. Now, Heretics did manage to at least bring through 3 of those rifles. They can supplement it with Sheriffs, which is the traditional kind of buy alongside. But for Acend, I'm liking the Bone Cold still on that Spectre. If he sticks on this still, pretty nice approach. It's going to give him such a nice buffer going forward of cash as well. The economy is going to start swelling for Acend unless they get stopped now and forced out on the rebuy. No early peaks coming in, but Coldamenta going to try and clear in case there was. Dissuade any early aggression. And Acend do the 4-1 lean towards B this time. Now they're going to leave, I imagine, Arcto, yeah, to catch any flank or maybe information game coming out towards A.
Yeah, Heretics happy to sit like this for the time being, at least. Again, dealing with the Al drone early. Not going to spot a second player off that, so not really giving any tools over to Acend. One trap wire going to get removed, though, and that weakens Pora's position. Now he has to be committed to holding onto the shower angle. Does still have the trap wire on short and the spike cam. Also, Pora actually going to swing find CNED on short. A big kill to open this up, yeah. And the spike cam, a lot of information garnered off that.
That's not bad, and honestly taking down that player at the start is great. A little overstepping of Mark. I don't mind the spam, but no one's there to really capitalize on it. Maybe just a little frustrated, left wanting. Now Nuki's got himself towards the kind of backside of sight, towards the boxes. Now that it's the post plants that are the problem. We discuss this often, how powerful they can potentially be. I wonder how Kiles Bone Cold brings themselves into action, even Starkso to a degree. Bone Cold now going to be challenged towards U-Haul, those lamps above. And now Kiles tries to buy some time, going to cut off the push. But no, Amara doesn't care. Walks on through. They did not expect it. And what a surprise. Like Venom just walks on in, 0 care, and Starkso, he does it! The smoke criminal! Backs away! And now he didn't get it halfway. The bait, he doesn't come off it, lol, now sits it, can't do anything, Starkso! Playing it so perfectly.
And actually right there, it's the 2 people you least expect to be double stacked in lamps. Bone Cold and Kiles. Avova though, just no respect whatsoever, charging through that. Again, the readjust Starzo the entire time that's going on. The chaos on site there. He shows presence in showers, comes back here, which is why you see Avova. Again, clock ticking away. He's committed to watching showers, right? Not expecting this position at all. I mean, the only adjustment there would be Lowell to kind of be stacked up. I don't want to say body blocking, but on a similar angle, because playing behind default there, it's you're all stacked one way.
Here. One down.
Okay. That's 2. We have rifles in this round of overs there eventually, but by now, so much damage is dealt. But you can see there's a little bit of hesitation now with this end. They have to peel away and respect this. Because there's a little bit of a problem of, okay, well, is this a full-on stack? That was a lot of players we've just noted and taken down. Do we now lean towards B?
Well, and obviously we can see with that aggression shown on short, it's actually Pora that rotates over. Be that solo anchor. Gonna be greeted by a lot again. Interested to see if he does dip his toes here. Only a sheriff. CNED.
I've got your trail.
Gonna charge onto site here. Seeker's once again invested. That's gonna reveal Pora's position. Actually, Coldamenta trying to charge him down. Really difficult here. Vova got to find something on the flank here. Finds the first, Starzo trades it though.
He's given him a window of opportunity. It's not a big one, though. Rubino has to now kind of come online. He's got to find some form here. Spots out the player, gets him. Starkso gone. The double stack towards the kind of corner here. Acend, the first man to offer himself up. He wants to get halfway, can't. That's now denied, and as is the round, Acend looking very well constructed, considered as well, and holding form. 5-0 now, scoreline-wise. Heretics are struggling to get on the board here.
Well, the concern comes, I mean, like I said, we haven't seen that post-plant strength become a factor in these rounds just yet, but now, I mean, Acend showing that actually it's not a crutch, right? They're not going to fall back to it every single time, and that's going to keep Heretics guessing of how to approach these retakes.
It's a perfect kind of summary of it too, because it's very easy to see it as one-dimensional, and I often do, but now seeing this additional layer is really reassuring that there's depth to that Acend approach. Now, of course, the economy is now broken. There's a couple of sheriffs, and that's it. Nuki avoiding anything, a little bit of utility, but that's about all you're going to see. Nothing crazy about this one. This should be a comfier round. They're going to invest the ultimate coming in, but look how close they're playing. Rubino just going to keep himself tucked down. That's one. Ooh, I believed for a second, but bone cold. Not much of a believer, it seems. And now just two, Nuki and Pora, left alive.
Creeping, but Stars are posted for this angle. Crosshair placement, easy headshot. Nuki last man standing, a classic in hand, no nade, one satchel. Again, anything he gets is a bonus, but it's going to be nothing. Acend pulling ahead now, 6-0. Again, we talk about, you know, certain teams, certain win conditions. Acend, their win condition here, having a fantastic attacking half. It's got to be, right? Especially to bounce back, right?
Yeah, you need that confidence. Like, as much as because they're professionals, people assume that they're robots and they're not, they're humans. And that confidence build back from Acend, then coming out of map 1, kind of, you know, they had a little bit of a comeback, certainly showed a little bit of resilience, but it got ripped away. And Heretics looked firm, and the map veto was rough for them until now. So Acend doing this is perfect. It kind of just proves that their theories are correct in what they're doing. And 6-0 is the excellent start, because we've already noted that the defensive side does have vulnerabilities and potential flaws in it, especially with this agent composition. Now, against them, though, speaking of that, there is an op coming out for Nuki, and I want to see how they utilize this. They're kind of leaving him as the main man towards A. You're going to have Pora just kind of in between on that kind of pivot point, and as soon as they feel contact, he can swing in if he needs to, but he at least has his utility there as a supporting element.
Healers, yeah, going to pop the ult here. Maybe just go for... This is a different look from Acend. We haven't really seen this, but I was going to say, this is kind of set up for plant around triple. Oh, we're actually going to find Cold Dementor. That's all the way down on B long, but Nuki actually responds onto Acend as well. Spike now making its way all the way through the cave. Like I said, though, this is a... Not seen this from Acend before, so we'll see how they handle that to try and recover this round now. Ooh, he was lined up for it.
Counter 3 and pull the trigger. It works so often. Now we wait. Spike yet to be planted. Keep your eyes on that. Pretty sure it's with Bone Cold. Healer's trying to secure. Bone Cold. Spike. Gonna be double dipped on, and the ultimate's being popped. That Soxo gone. This is looking like a shutdown. It's just Bone Cold. Perfection from Rubino, and I loved the discipline from Heretics as well then.
They're really well played. Again, a couple of fortunate kills, I'd say, to, you know, to rip apart some of the tools they had. Acend looking to come forward and pressure on short there. And again, this is Heretics. This is kind of them showing just the early signs of adapting to this. Nuki investing in the operator this time around. It's actually unlucky that Bone Cold gets tagged with that one. He runs just into, again, the slow orb on the spike, just for good measure. Good utility usage there from Heretics.
Okay. First round success. Now we've seen Nuki with the AWP, so they're 1 for 1 on that. Let's see if he can do some more damage with that AWP coming out. See if he's similar. Rinse and repeat almost this round. So, a bit of a different lean though, going B this time. Over heading on through. Now that does leave B a little light.
I'm not sure if he was forced out with utility there or what, but it's like Pora's going to be the man to maybe compensate for that. Some information gathered here initially, I mean, between flashes and the Aldrome, but I think Acend, they're going to come in for one of their dry plants. There you go, Lau to shut that down.
Oh, that's nasty, isn't it? Pora was there so quickly, you were right. He was sitting on that flank in between the 50-50, and Heretics now coming alive here. And yeah, flawless indeed. Perfect
This-
play. Rubino on the site, playing patient, waiting on the perfect time on the swing. I was a little worried when Avova got forced away, but they were so quick to fill that gap.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I mean, elbow is such an important position here. Now, if Ascend don't challenge that, they don't have a Sage Wall, they just have Smokes and the Viper Wall, right? They have nothing to really stop Heretics just punishing that plant spot, which is right in front of the tube. It's not even in the corner of default, it's in the open, right? So unless they actively clear elbow, which we know how often Heretics are, they're happy to back up, give up sight, and anticipate that push going through. We see Pora do it time and time again as a solo anchor. But Ascend need to address that. If they keep going for these just, you know, run-of-the-mill dry plants, don't go for any kills.
Right here.
Have a default being held for now. And I do want to keep in mind Pora's positioning. Really like this. I guess it's allowed because Nuki does have that op and he's able to do so much with it, especially in support of the camera. So it's just why I like Cypher and I like how Pora plays it. But now there's been enough, at least intention that they've, or kind of intent shown, that he's sitting a little bit more dedicated towards A. And this is very hard to read, I'm sure. I don't know if he's been doing this as much in the past as I'm seeing it now, but Ascend kind of just dry walking through, playing contact towards B, but there is no burst off the back of this. The spike's still with Acend, and that's back towards A.
Again, the thing is, all this presence shown, it doesn't bait a rotation. As long as Heretics keep 3 here. And actually, that's going to give it up. You see all 3 Seekers committed to site here. That should be the green light. It should be the green light. Here you go.
Nuki. They've got away on the timing. They get it just right. They wait for that smoke to land, and now the spike take should be coming down. Already plant comes through. No problem there. Yes, he can send out a paint shell, but even with the damage, it doesn't matter. They'll take that for the sake of the plant, but Avova quickly finds Cold Mentor. And now that's a bit of an issue. Now, is there any other free kills offered up? Now, keep in mind, CNET is very much ahead of the others. There's that lineup. Hopefully this one is spot.
That's perfect.
It'll do. It will do the job. There it is. It's good enough to force Nuki into bad spot. He does find CNET, so clears out. Is it off?
It's
my god, it is off. It landed just a little bit short.
No
It was the one
way.
damaging Nuki. And then just pulled this. Oh, you've got to check. You've got to check those.
I mean, you can see the snakebite follow-up was bang on the money, but Bone Cold...
It was too high.
yeah, I guess a little off. I think it was too far to the right. It was too far towards triple. It wasn't actually
Well, it was damaging Nuki.
Yeah.
Like, Nuki was stood in it. I'd love to see a replay on that if we could get it, just because I want to see how off that was. Because I thought it was at least on enough of the spike plant, but maybe not. Okay.
Oof. Yeah. Again, if we're to talk confidence, right, losing a round like that, where Ascend are like, yeah, we've got our game plan. We've got this round in the bag. To lose one in such a fashion might make them reconsider. Oh, Avova actually gets the ping on the second as well. Opening up for 2 in this round.
Lol's cross is perfect here as well. He can catch him on the way out. He's such a problem here. And look at it, isolated fights. He makes it look so simple. And it kind of is for him in that position. CNED now, nothing to be done. Pora locks it down, and everyone in the right place at the right time. And that previous round is going to sting a little now seeing this.
Yes, it will. Heretics 4 on the bounce now. Oh, that is heartbreaking. I'll have to take another look at it again. I just saw, obviously, Nuki was getting damaged off it. I assumed the spike was not planted on the very left side of default, but
mate, you think I've opened up the stream so I can watch it back and pause it? They're at round 9, you know, got a little ways to go yet, but already Nuki gonna hear that popped in. Is he daring to go towards us? He is. This is crazy. Oh, he gets one. He gets away with it too. Doesn't even get traded out on. This man's confident. Backs away, gonna get back up towards heaven. And oh, perfect play from Nuki.
remove some of the pop from Ascend's execution. Nuki gonna get smoked off once again, but he can actually creep the edge of this. This is terrible. Oh no, Mentor actually tries to jiggle peek it. Nuki will get his second on the round now. He's gonna creep again. He finds his third. Nuki putting this operator to work.
Nuki has been such a controlling factor towards his site. Killers is left to die, and Cened's out of there. He's not wanting any of this anymore. It's over, it's done with. This round is shut down. Nuki, since he got that up, has been putting up rounds for this team. This look coming out from Heretics, these adjustments they're making, even credit to Pora to sit on that rotation until they feel pressure, is perfect play. And there goes the gun, and there goes Cened. It's Acend just now kind of hitting a brick wall.
I mean, this is beautiful. Just to drill a bit deeper on this, the operator is probably the safest way to challenge that setup, right? Again, we talk about how Acend want to come in. They want to find, you know, these clean, dry plants and get away with 5 unscathed just off the back of a smoke and show a little bit of presence on site. Nuki can challenge from so deep that it's difficult to really trade him.
I tried to catch the VOD back. It looked like it fell just a little short. So, because Nuki was up by the box, kind of looking for the fight towards short. So again, here we go. Nuki going to be put to the test this time. Rinse, repeat. They've got to know this now. They've got to be aware of it. Get that smoke right. Nuki's going to peek this again. Now, is there going to be the consideration? Good flash this time. Much better. That's the site execution you need. You have to have everything in the right place.
Econometer actually challenges Nuki off that angle with the Hunter's Fury. Acend will get in, but this is giving a lot of time for Heretics to come through and reinforce. Cened going to find Pora there. That's a big kill early on. Look at the GP though, over. Oh!
Gets caught by Coldamenta, and here we go. 5v4 now. There is still potential in this. Lal is just pressuring everywhere. They're trying to hold the line though. Time beginning to dwindle. Oh, the shot for Starkso is so good towards Nuki. Now Lol, Pora, and Rubino still trying to play this one out. Coldamenta starts to get a little closer to this. Make sure he can hold maybe the crossfire here. Here's the spike being touched, and he says, no, get off this. You are not getting it again. Oh, make it work. Now, I hope at some point someone's going to slow down that round, because honestly, I think it was pretty tilting for them, that molly that came through. I know we keep harping on about it, but I really would like to see it once again from a different perspective. Because there's a chance, one, Nuki could have potentially blocked that as well if he'd have seen it. Now, I don't know if he's that aware. Maybe he is if you're up against this composition. Because you remember when we saw those kind of like Sage Ice Walls coming out to try and deny those sort of plays with the Viper as well, especially if you're up against, you're in a post plant with a Brim and a Viper especially, you're going to keep that in mind. So I'm really, really curious if someone else can find that replay, slow it down, work on it, because, we're doing this live. So it's a little tricky, but if someone can, I'd love that. But anyway, 7-5, let's get back to where we are, because Acend, yes, they've done well, but keep in mind the attack is always their strongest side. We have to see how they fare. Now the sides are switched.
Heretics actually, as 4, going to try and challenge their way through. Keyless goes down the snake bite. To stop the follow-up on the boombot at least, gives him time to deal with it. Again, though, Heretics, drawing out this utility very early. Again, Keyless has to use this kind of offbeat with his smoke and his wall, but I mean, now it's done. He doesn't really have anything else to slow this push. If they try to challenge, it's just a matter of time, right? They just need to make sure they push when there's nothing left in the tank for him.
We'll wait for the timing to be just right. Nuki. Oh, backs away in time, but information received. What do they do with this? 40 seconds. Killer's still. Let's stick around. His step's going to be giving away. The falls away for this now. Now, pretty aggressive to the corner. What? Over outdoes him. That's going to sting. Coldamenta can't do anything about this. Spike plant for showers. Heretics have this on wrap. Look at this. Acend look a little baffled as to what to do. That wall has changed up the plan here.
Indeed. And they can sit behind this. Probably another 20 seconds or so on it. Breaking. Cened actually going to come right over the top of Spike Cam. Actually going to reveal away his position. Bone Cold will find one, but now Heretics can kind of reset. I mean, they can play this from short. Look at it. The setup, the readjustment is perfect from Heretics.
Heretics are doing real nice. Now, Bone Cold this time does get one with a molly. But let's kind of talk about the stabilization factor and the worry that should start building with Acend here, because we talk about the composition a lot, and I'm glad the desk touched on it as well, how great this can work in those kind of engaging moments, how well they can play to kind of aggress towards sites, of course, but making that work on the defensive side is something that's not necessarily completely eluded them, but against tier 1 teams, high-end teams, the rest of the best in Europe, it has fallen a little flat. But then they've, of course, had Acend go, well, I'm going to put you in my backpack and just make up for it. But that's a really hard win condition to lean on.
It is, and
Bomb buddy out.
actually Nuki might get caught off. He's going to jump through Coldamenta.
Bad lad.
The hopping classic. I'll get that weapon upgrade though. Keyless has to peel away, and actually on the other side of the map, you can see the back of this push through towards market. They've got two trap wires to deal with. Rubino actually going to drone out here. Ooh, if they pop it, he might be able to dash and actually get Rubino. He's still in his
Close the
elbow.
gap. Yeah, he has
Perfect.
seen it. So well played there off the back of that great read of how this is going down, just that feed of information, but the wall goes up regardless and the spike should be planted. It is. Not the same angle. Killer's hoping maybe he could make more out of that, but it's not going to do too much. But it is down to Pora, Lal, and Avova. Now there is a gun recovered. That's in the hands of Acend. Avova on the wide peak, and he still
huge.
gets away with it. He's about to catch a case just murdering people like that, Hyde Park. How on earth does he get away with it?
The paranoia is so perfect. It's unreal. Starzo now going to try and creep back in behind, but man advantage goes over to Heretics. Avova finds his fourth. Keyless tagged up by the spy cam. Just so much to deal with, so much clutter. Avova goes for the ace. Lau will close it out. Heretics tie things up here. 7 apiece.
Confidence, man. Like, I get the paranoia comes in, but to wide swing on it, I'm sure there was a player close to that wall that could have potentially traded. He plays
Look
a
at
really
it,
good
man.
angle on it, but like
It's so
1,
perfect.
2, and yeah, like cool. 3 of them, I'm pretty sure. So well done by Avova.
Sean Garris and the Bromans will be uniting to see that
The
one.
Bromans. He's playing Euro these days, you know? He's on that Euro hype.
Can't stray from his...
I know, but he's, you know, it's become too popular. You know, people like it too much these days. He's gone to the next, like, weird agent pick he can go for. You know, he's not like the other boys. He's different.
I think this time around, actually going to get... And Keyless playing much deeper here, so nobody really to greet this early round, at least in showers. Again, it's Heretics' 4. Whether or not they will go for a cheeky little execute, much like the pistol round, but... Yeah, actually, wall goes down. They're going to nade Bone Cold off that angle. Oof, do they have space? I mean, they can sit and wait this out. The wall hasn't been broken just yet.
TP. Here we go. Suddenly, problems are plenty, but keep your eye on the spike. So this is all a bit of like a... If they pause and let Avova just take a lot of, you know, I guess, contact or make a lot of steps... But that's the bonus of Sky, right? Still kind of evens that out. Lau's going to get a freebie. That's Bone Cold gone. Gets hungry information. Hesitates to hold, and now Starkso feeling very isolated, and now look at this split coming in. He's trying to commit towards that fight towards Showers. Avova finds one, but Starkso wins his battle. Keeps a little bit of space here, and now Avova gonna lock in the last couple of players that hit that rotation, but Coldamenta on the better flank finds him, and there's a chance, but look at this switch up on Plant. Heretics just changing the game here.
They're playing aggressive as well. Look at it. Nuki finds CNET in spawn. They got this locked down. The plant is their side. They have the spy cam. They can literally commit everything to holding Coldamenta right now. It doesn't matter what Starzo does. The double peak's so good. From Pora Nuki. Now last man Starzo. Out to 22 HP. Not an awful lot he can do to recover this round. And this is a similar trend. I mean, I talked about previously, you know, Heretics able to stabilize in some of the series where we've seen them go down, see them at around deficit. This is another perfect example, Lauren. Just the variance. They're so versatile.
And you're right. I think versatility is such a highlight word to kind of put towards Heretics, because I feel like they don't fit one method of Valorant. You look at certain teams, okay, they like that slightly looser, slightly, you know, mid-round cool style. People seem to have such an aversion to the word puggy these days, and it's not anything wrong with it. It's just you don't play a heavily stratted approach. You play a little fast and loose, and you work off picks. Nothing wrong with it. You need great composure to do that, and great kind of creativity to make it work, and such knowledge to be able to pull it on the fly, but they sometimes are able to pull that out. But also, Heretics have every bit of just the fundamentals down. They are such a good side, and it's very hard to put them into a box. They have their own style of play, and it does seem as though we do have a pause coming in to keep you guys up to date. We'll be staring back at us. Sorry about that.
Unfortunately.
I know. Look, we don't want it either, but either that or stare at the game, I mean, so one of the two. I don't know, but overall, I'm impressed with Heretics stabilizing in this game. Acend, though, there is still a chance, but they need one of their other win conditions to come online. I don't think they win this by just playing as they are, if I'm honest, Hypoc, but where do we look at for those next win conditions? Is it as simple as they need CNED to come online, or is there more to it that we can maybe pull from?
I do think it goes a little deeper than that. But again, like I said, the big one for me was Acend having a fantastic attacking half. And actually, I mean, the round score to the bottom end of that. Yes, they come out with the majority win, but it's not enough for me. Now, I mean, the question comes about, Heretics are able to just like run the clock down more effectively than some other teams. And, you know, they look brilliant in those late round hits because they're in such control. Now, there are other teams, again, I won't name names actually because I'll just get flamed for it. But there are other teams, you know, they run the clock down, they go for it. Okay, Guild, they run down the clock and it gets into these late round hits where they actually don't have map control, right? They haven't got any information from the early round. It's yo-yo and back and forth one side to the other. Now Heretics, the big difference is like if they're going to hit in the last 20 seconds, it's because they know exactly where all the players on B are positioned, where they're playing A from, what utilities invested where. They're in control every single time. They never put themselves in a position where it's a desperation play.
It is quite a factor. Now, bigger picture, again, let's kind of blow this up to the difference when it comes to a best of 5. It sounds like a marathon under the assumption, obviously, that the rounds go back and forth. The maps come back and forth. But as it stands, this could be 2-0. Now, I have heard word from a lovely production team, of course, that it does seem as though things are being resolved pretty quickly. So hopefully that gets fixed up soon. But I think the scary factor is at a 2-0, things get a little dicey. Pressure starts to become pretty huge at that point. And I think what would it be? Haven as a big factor. So if I'm not mistaken, the game looks live, so we can jump right back on in. Thank you for your patience at home. Let's get this back underway in map 2 here of the finals between Heretics and Acend, of course. And now Heretics have been on the build.
And just to come back to that point I was making, the early things we talked about with Heretics is how strong their default is, how strong their default and attack is. And Pora is a big part of that. As I say that, big part of this round already. Finds the first blood, Cold Mentor falls. Oh, look at it. Pora finds that kill. He has the spy cam along. He knows if there's going to be any aggression elsewhere. Spy cam gets dealt with. Now he can sit back on the trap wires. And look at Heretics stacked up once again in showers.
Yeah, Pora just going to power on through. CNED. Going to be the big challenge. That's a little style to it, but his killer's there. Nuki, though, doubling down on this is wild. Oh, that's good work, but it's still Keyless, 20 HP now. Just about gets out of there. Gets himself a rifle, too, for all that trouble. Where's Starkso in all of this? Okay, up towards heaven.
Yeah.
One enemy
Over here, yep. Freebie. Starso. Caught sleeping, at least looking towards direction completely. And now Heretics find themselves 2 ahead. CNED back on that operator again. We know previous round, not an awful lot to work with. But this is the one. I mean, again, we talk about double digits being the big talking point in MR12. This is the one I want to see Acend make a move. Come back into this game now. Close this round out clean, flawlessly. Get a round or 2 in hand to make this one interesting on the back. The home stretch of Bind.
All right. This has been a run of rounds for Heretics now as well. Keep that in mind. Confidence will be sky high. We have the op coming out for CNED. That was a big game changer for Nuki picking that up on the other side as well. So that could be a big factor here. Want to see what he does with this. Now, Heretics, of course, the ones to the making the statements to make the moves on the attacking side. Show a little presence towards B long, then back away.
Poison's off.
Yeah, actually a different look this time around. Keeler's actually going to invest the ultimate for that showers control again, and this is from Heretics showing so many times that I like to stack in deep here. He's actually going to counter, try and get some of that control himself. Lothar will be happy to see there's an owl drone clearing through. Just going to get the orb, doesn't it? It makes perfect sense.
And this is enough to get the orb. Now, let's see how they approach this, because we still have CNED up towards heaven, watching short. Viper going to catch that shower push, so it still should indicate that it's probably going to be towards B, because all that information has been recovered, but it's going to be a late in the day hit. Now, again, I'm keeping my eyes on Cypher. because this might be a bait play. It is. He's going to offer himself up to the cause. Take TP at best, die at worst, but it should keep the player's presence, but it doesn't. Starkso now has to fall away from this. Flash gets caught. Ultimate gets used. Avova has to try and dip out. He stays alive. Now time. 12 seconds on the board. That spike is just about crossing now. Starkso wants to catch the walls in the way. Still sprays in. The body block comes in. Avova will die for the cause, but Bone Cold rips it away. And now we're just down to two, Nuki and Lal. And Nuki's found one. The trade comes out towards Lal, and now just Nuki left in the 1v4. No more, as Bone Cold will find it and puts himself in prime position to save Acend here.
Acend, that's the one. I want to see them turn the tides now. And economy-wise, not going to make an awfully big dent on Heretics. Looking at 3,500 the lowest, but again, it's going to be a comfortable purchase. Going back into this, and again, I mean, in this scenario here, so much utility available for Acend. They didn't burn anything really other than the Viper ultimate in the early round. Try and garner some control, so... Now, do we see, and this is what we saw, Acend challenging Showers a few times previously on Bind on defense. Again, just the no respect challenge.
Not like Nuki didn't do it. It's gonna keep him on the angle at least. Holds that pretty well. Now, it looks... they're actually getting ready to just hit this A site. Darkso's gonna find nothing. Timing's gonna be a factor. Acend's walking this. Acend has walked out of Showers. He's continued forward. He's got a Vova. But can he get out of here? The smoke wall's up. Now Bone Cold's gonna see one flying through. So information found. Ultimate popped. No damage done just yet. But Bone Cold catches Nuki in the middle of no man's land. This is now scary times for Heretics. None of those opening forays have worked. They've been held back perfectly.
As well, Heretics still looks as if they're going to try and force their way onto this. Way goes out. Actually blocked by that. Blocked the recon there. The wall's going to get invested on. Poor actually going to fall to Coldamenta. Two well-placed shock darts there. Bino, though. Get that, but Acend's still a threat. Still that operator in hand. Actually going to hit the rotate. Keyless got a lot to do to defend. No snake bites left. Just above half capacity. Well, his smokes and his wall.
No charges left for you.
I mean, they've left this a little late. They're waiting on that heal to come through, but that gives plenty of time for this rotation to come through.
Yeah.
And the spike's going to fall. 10 seconds now. Lau's just got to play his life. Cena going to clean it up.
Okay, no answers yet. Look, I hate to say it, and I'm gonna say it. I want to see Heretics find an answer to a very uncompromising offer, because... look, I watch a lot of NA games, and when we talk about, you know, the different regions against each other, shutting down an op is going to be something that has to be paramount for Europe if they want a chance against NA.
Yeah.
I genuinely think North America has some of the highest skilled players, like mechanical-wise, right? You've got some of literally some of the best that have come out of Counter-Strike from North America, you know, picking right back up. You've got tens out there. I mean, there's some crazy players there. I want to see what the plan is, because Heretics are a thinking man's team, but there's, I guess, no traditional flash on this side, which is going to be an issue, right? Like, you look at it, yeah, you got a Vova, I guess, but beyond that, what do you have really to force an op off an angle? Not much.
That's the thing. I mean, actually, the paranoia... It's the proximity, right? It's the lane clearances as opposed to the way the Breach and Sky work. They're playing those deep angles, like we saw Nuki, right? You can sit in heaven. A paranoia is not going to phase you there at all.
And bear in mind, Nuki still got away with a fair amount, even with Stark. So I think one flash caught him at one point, and it forced him a little further back, and that was fine. That was when he was looking through smoke. So it's like this composition is gonna, I think, struggle a little against an op if it's in the right place. Throwing that it's being used aggressively makes it even harder, so you're gonna have to depend on kind of smoke execution. Well, what do you have for that? Oh. Not as much either. So it's a really interesting kind of conundrum that they're gonna have to try and work out of how to deal with an op. It's something that has been plaguing the back of my mind, going, look, I want to favor Europe, but I'm a little worried about some of these compositions against it. However, for now we're into the round, and it was a bit of a mixed bag coming up from Heretics. A couple of rifles, but not that much. Killers is still there, so finds a Vova. Good trade comes out from Lal. That's going to be the res online. Back up and Adam Nuki, but straight back to the grave. Gets to merely see it for a second. And Acend put double digits on the board. This is the perfect build back in. That op is still present. It has been the key changing factor. As much as, yes, we say Acend go kill, it's not just that. I think it's the op coming out to play has really just thwarted a lot of Heretics' plans here.
I mean, it comes back to, right? That operator directly challenges that early round control, the territory control that Heretics are famed for, to be honest with you. Listen, it forces Heretics into a position where they have to explore every angle one by one. They have to take, you know, almost twice as long on that early information gathering.
There we go. They've cleared CNED at least off the initial angle, but it's not like he doesn't want to re-aggress. He caught Avova's utility, but he's going back through this.
Oh.
He's alive. They're both alive. The adjustment, though, makes Nuki very unalive for now, and CNED still just showing presence. He is so almost arrogant in the way he plays with that op, and I love it. It's the perfect way to use it.
It is ego challenge, by definition.
Perfect. Has to be done. Now Rubino looking for a tag, gets nothing. Now I was hoping this execution would come back out, this shower piece with that close wall. Now, the fact is though, what do they do with this? I want to see if they can maybe make something out of this. There's still so many players alive. Bone Cold still here. Killer's still here. They can just spam that out if they have to, if they feel there's a plan, or they break the wall. It's not infallible, but CNED might be. Finding Lau, finds another 3. They can't handle him. He's still around. He's got his ultimate. Maybe doesn't even care, doesn't even need it. Coldamenta did find Pora, so it puts it all in the hands of Rubino. Left in a 1v2. Spots out 1. Makes the mad dash with the spike.
He's gambling.
He's still here. Keyless still here. We won't check on this. Rubino's knife out. That's a problem. It's a mistake, and it's a fumble that will cost them another round. 11 now on the board.
Oh. It's just crazy to see. Like, it's night and day. And again, I'm saying it from a scoreboard perspective only. That was the round I was hoping they could get themselves back into this, turn the tide, stop the bleeding almost, Lauren. What a response from them. They put themselves on double digits. Now Heretics on an awful buy. So this, I mean, numbers-wise, this is Acend going to map point.
Yes. I mean, unless something like magical happens, they like hit a few, recover some guns. I doubt it's going to happen, and the money's so flush now, I feel, for Acend. Yeah, they've been a couple of dicey rounds, but it's been... Oh, the timing. The timing's awful. The timing is awful. I hate it. And now here we go. Nuki gonna just keep that pace up, though. Finds another Coldamenta, does find lol. Okay, here we are. Nuki, what can you do from this? Oh, no one's there.
Out of
There are a lot of space that will give them sight, at least. Now...
Spike planted.
Oh, seen it going another one of these little hop-ups. He found it!
God!
Nuki falls!
Remaining.
Rubino down to a lick of HP. He's going to wallbang Pora now, 25 HP, getting hunted. Has to deal with the recon Starzo. Gonna close it out. And just when you think Heretics are going to get themselves that round on the board, Acend strike back, map point.
The value of this op
Match
on this
point.
player is unquestionable. CNED was kind of
Spike planted.
middle table
so
until the op came out. And look at this. Look at these
Party's
angles.
over.
He's so aware of this. And now just continues forward on it. I mean, 12-9 now. Heretics, let's see what you've got in store. You've got to have a plan in mind. You did well with this. They did this themselves with Nuki having this much presence, but not enough to convert as many rounds as they had to. 12-9. Acend are not out of it yet. Map 1 looked horrible for them. Map 2, much better.
Look, actually, Coldamenta, Hunter's Fury, they have the Seekers online. Bone Cold just got the orb. And Showers as well. They're well equipped for this one. Close it out. On the side of Heretics, I mean, it's the Neural Theft. Rubino 2 away from hits Hunter's Fury, so... Nothing really going to come online here. Keeler's actually going to shut down Nuki. Another challenger to Hooker. Keeler's... Okay, Lowell actually, yeah, going to find Stars, though. He tried to follow up on his Seekers, but... Can't get anything done there, so...
But look at the spike. Rubino, hold on. If Rubino dies, the spike gets lost. This is what I'm waiting on. Rubino has to just play so... Oh, he's got tagged. CNED knows he's there somewhere. They're just playing the mad game of the smoke. Rubino gets out, makes a mad dash for it. He's made it away.
Wow, the wall down in Showers here. Coldamenta's actually going to slip all the way out from heaven. That's a big kill. Big kill. Coldamenta and Keyless now find themselves in a 2v3. Over going to try and charge this down. Another one. Coldamenta wins it. He's going to swing out. He's going to try and challenge. Oh, he punishes. Rubino falls too.
Questions just ring through my mind about some of these challenges, and now Pora put into a dire position.
Oh my god.
What on earth just happened, Hypoc?
I mean, we talk about Heretics being one of the more structured and disciplined teams, and we see it time and time again.